Alright guys, so here we go with the fifth and final hub world, the space hub world, in Crash Bandicoot, the Wrath of Cortex, the final warp room, which will also be covering the final boss. So yeah, so here we go, it's now time to do it. So here we might as well get in with the first level, Crash and Burn.
Well, here we are again. I wouldn't necessarily call this irony, but don't you find it a little odd that we keep meeting under these same world domination circumstances? Why not just give up? And let me win for once!
Don't worry, Dr. Cortex. Now that my elemental powers have reached maximum capacity, this little geek is gonna wish he was never created.
Alright, so yeah, here we go with the final world. Now I don't know if you noticed, but Cortex sort of like has some like triangles on his head. That's obviously because of the high resolution rendering, but you never noticed that on the PS2. So yeah, so here we go. So this is an interesting way this level begins, as you will see. So yeah, you actually take a little platform ride to get over to the main section of the level. And if you were to do time trial on this level, the clock could be found around here, of which we'll be seeing in a few parts. So yes, so here we go, the final world. So here we go with a fun little volcano level. So which I always thought this level was really cool as a kid to me. Probably one of my favourites in the game, although I will say there is a little bit of some you know, sort of hit and miss platforming in places, you know, like depth perception can be off a little bit. So yeah, so there we go with that. So but before I progress any further with this Let's Play, I want to do like a little shout out here to some of my loyal viewers of this Let's Play already. So that is of course Mew Mew Fan 152 and 2 Crash 2. So if you are watching this, yeah, there's your shout out. So of course thank you so much for supporting this Let's Play so far. It really does mean a great deal to me. So yes, really cool stuff. So yeah, there's some cool aesthetics going on with this level. I mean, like, look at the smoke. I mean, that is quite a lot, you know, considering this is actually PS2. So anyway, here we go with the bonus round. Now, here, as you will hear, I kind of told a bit of a lie in the last part, because basically, what happened was, I said that Droid Void had its own unique bonus round music. Well, actually, it does not. This is actually the same theme song used here as well, so yeah. But still, it really does suit these two levels quite well. I mean, I just don't understand why we didn't use it in Crate Balls of Fire, which we'll be seeing very soon as well, so. Oh no, okay, right, again. So I thought I'd mess that up a little bit then, but obviously I haven't, so there we go, so nice one. Yeah, this has been a very fun Let's Play to make, and of course I've noticed these bonus rounds are actually quite tricky and quite long, so yeah, that's something that does kind of you know, sort of resemble Crash Bandicoot 4, It's About Time. I don't know exactly if that game actually took inspiration from this game, I highly doubt it, but still it's really cool fact to compare, I'm not gonna lie, so yes. So these parrots here used to really annoy me as a kid. You have to really stand back because they're sort of like dive bomb and explode. So yeah, so I'm going to run past this one. It's sort of like a bit tricky. Now this controller's D-pad is going a bit funny. I'm on my other controller today, my red controller, and I actually kind of just suit the theme of that level, I'm not going to lie, but you know. But this controller has a bit of a spongy D-pad, and it's not the most responsive, so my gameplay is not bound to be as maybe consistent today. I don't know why I use this controller. I don't know what is wrong with me. I just so happen to do it, and yeah. And I've no idea why, but it's absolutely freezing in here. I mean, it's like the heating hadn't kicked on. It's absolutely just freezing cold, this room, and I might actually go and advance the heating actually in a minute, but hopefully the motivation going on when recording this Let's Play will save me having to do that, so but we will find out anyway. So so long as I keep my mind on the game, I should not be focusing on that too much. So anyway, here we go with the death route. So at least we're on the death route, so if I don't mess this up, I've done really good. So yeah, this sort of seems familiar, this death route, by the way. It highly sort of reminds me of Desert Ruins, you know, where the eggs inside the cave in Spyro 3 Year of a Dragon. So if anybody else sees a similarity with Desert Ruins on this death route, yeah, be sure to let me know in the comments, because this actually does seem very similar. You know, it actually really does. So yeah, and of course there's a rising platform here, but you don't need that. You can just spin around this corner and spin over here. There we go, nice one, and we have a red gem. Cool. So yes, I've got to make a quick phone call, unfortunately, but I will cut back and I'll see you all in a minute. So awesome stuff, everyone. Alright, so I am back. So I just had to take a quick phone call here, and obviously that's all taken care of now and all sorted, so that's really cool stuff. So I have a red gem, so yeah, that's another coloured gem to add to my collection. There is only one more to get, which, believe it or not, is actually from the level directly after this. So how handy is that? So that will be all coloured gems collected, and there's just a lot of trains passing my house today. I have no idea what is going on, because obviously I have a rail line directly behind my house, which is you know, can make quite a lot of noise. But as I say, I do plan to possibly get a better mic in the future, which might not pick that up. We will have to see. We will really have to see, because I mean, trains are very loud machines, so yeah, it's mostly like, you know, sort of like cargo trains, you know, freight. So yeah, we have a lot of that going back past behind my house. So this is really cool up here, because you're like at the top of the volcano. You can actually see this part of the level from up top, and if I don't get hurt here when I show you, you can actually see the rest of the level down there. How cool is that? I mean, that is actually really clever level design there, I'm not gonna lie. So and I love the moving bridges. Obviously body slam, they go deeper as well, so yeah, actually pretty good physics. So yeah, this is one thing I really liked about this game all the time, is of course you had the you had all the cool stuff like, oh, let me think. Yeah, you had all of this cool stuff, you know, sort of like all these like technological advancements, which you never had in the PS1 games. So even though it might not play as well as the original trilogy, it still has that, which is, you know, something really cool that the game does have. So and of course the visuals as well, because I think Wrath of Cortex is a pretty good looking game visually. I mean, I do quite like the crate designs, but one thing I will not defend, I mean, the character models, I mean, could have done with a bit of improvement. I mean, these are not my favourite models of character. They're just not. I mean, look at Crash's face, but you know, it's still not as like, say, as bad as you say the character models in, say, Titans and Mutant, which, yeah, they're not good, very good designs at all. And I don't know if I'll really be touching them games in the near future. But then again, I'll probably say Crash Tag Team Racing is least liked in those games, so we'll see. But I do plan to actually touch that game again. So yeah, so this is like one of these Gold Rush themed levels, and I do think this is you know, obviously Gold Rush themed stuff, like I mentioned in my Spyro level, you know, when I did Dino Mines and a bit of Peacekeepers. It is, of course, you know, it does actually have quite a nice aesthetic to it. You know, obviously a lot of drama sets and stuff like that sort of like have them. So yeah, really, really cool stuff. And obviously this is set in quite a big area too. Now I don't know why I'm collecting one pair. That is just more of an OCD thing on my behalf, and it is of course costing time, but you know, because I do have that thing where I don't want to make these Let's Play parts too long, because, oh wow, if you just saw that in the corner, but you can kind of see the drawing in the distance of the rest of the level. So because obviously there's no fog working on the PCSX2, unfortunately, but I have no idea how a skybox works in this level, but it never worked in Smokey and the Bandicoot, which basically uses the same assets as this level. So yeah, that is really, really weird. Well, okay, so TNTs in this game when they fall, they sort of like detonate as well, the sort of trigger. Ah, no, okay, there we go, so. Yep, so there we go. So we've left one crate, but that is a nitro crate. We can't do anything about that until we get a nitro detonation, but I could have used an Aku, but I'm not going to do that. Yeah, you can sort of see in the corner here. Well, you can't now, but you can sort of see some assets. Like, you can see the minecart, look, if you look to the right. Yeah, so that's really cool, but, you know, obviously not what the game should do, because if I switch it to software mode real quick, which is not working for some reason. That is weird. Okay, so here we go. There we go. So now you can see there's sort of like a bit of a distant fog, so you can't exactly see in that distance. But obviously when I go back to hardware mode, because, you know, it's a lot nicer looking, even though some of the lighting's kind of broken. But, you know, I'd much rather have that 4K instead of 480i resolution. So, you know, it's a trade-off. So that's of course software mode. You get the fog, you get the effects and the lighting, and this is of course back to hardware mode. So yeah, I think I'd like to play this game in 4K. I really would. So in fact, it's 4K, as Ninja said, because obviously another shout out to him, because I had him on my Let's Play part last night as well, the other night as well. So that is really, really cool stuff, because obviously I obviously like to do the odd collab every now and then, because as I say, I do have collabs on my channel, but more like independent collaborations. You know, sort of like, I don't like big calls in my Let's Play parts, because obviously there's so much going on, and it's of course a huge distraction for me, because obviously concentration is needed, as you will see when I was doing my insane relics. So yeah, that is actually really cool, interesting stuff. So yeah, you sort of like have this vehicle here, you just keep tapping X to move it forward, and like tap square for Crash to swing his back end high in the air to, you know, get the crates. And that noise in the background, I am really sorry about that, but yeah, somebody's operating a circular saw, or some kind of doing some kind of DIY out there when I'm recording a Let's Play part. Even though my window's shut, you know, those machines are pretty damn loud. So yeah, I'm really sorry if you guys are hearing that, because obviously some people in my neighbourhood do a lot of DIY stuff in their like gardens. So yeah, so what's that say on it? It says BDC. Okay, I'm trying to think what that means. I'm sure it references something. Oh, it's wanted sign for Cortex there. That's actually really cool. So here we go. Here's a death route. We got to it. So yeah, here we go with a death route, which gets us the final colour gem, which is of course will lead us up to the yellow gem. So yeah, so this death route is not too hard. It's very short. I mean, that's one kind of flaw with this game I've always found, is death routes are a bit sort of short and a bit lackluster. I mean, the soundtrack in this game is really good, but there's no death route theme, which sort of like always made me feel like something was missing. Now, imagine if it had like Crash Freestyle death route music with the instruments. I'm sure somebody's made it on these channel, on the, you know, YouTube, so, you know, like fan made. So there we go. So here we go. That is a yellow gem. Nice one. So time to die. Time to die. Nice one. So here we go. So that's all of the colour gems now got. They're not in my inventory yet, because obviously I need to finish the level before that happens. But yeah, this game looks quite different on the original PS2, because obviously it was using you know, it was using the you know, software rendering. Well, not software rendering, it was using the actual PS2 hardware. But you can see the lighting's not as good anymore. But I tell you what, I mean, the resolution is a worthy trade-off, like I said before. And oh my god, what am I doing? I just died again. Yeah, so that was not supposed to happen. So yeah, obviously the first death was intentional, but yeah, there we go. So nice one. So here we go. We have the death route platform, which is no longer there now, because if you it works like Crash 3, where if you die after going into a death route, if you're outside the death route, still it disappears. So, yeah. That's unfortunately how that works. So, here we go. So, we are now approaching the end of the level. Now, this level, I mean, despite its cool aesthetic, I've sort of like... I mean, I don't feel like the soundtrack... I feel like the soundtrack could have been a little bit better for this one. I really do. And of course, I mean, it's not the, it's a long level, but it's sort of like don't have the elements that you really want in a level to me. I mean, it's just got like a lot of awkward platforming and, you know, but the level does change its dynamics multiple times, so I will at least give it that. So but I am near the end of the level now, so this should be good. Just need to spin these scorpions away, so here we go with that. Nice one. Come on. I don't want to keep hurting myself because that is very clumsy of me to do that, so obviously I am quite a clumsy person, but you know, no, well, okay, that was a very risky move. I don't know why I even thought of that doing that would be a good idea, but I survived it, but I didn't survive that, so, yeah, that's twice I've died unnecessarily now in this level, you know, through stuck in at the game, so I don't want to keep doing that, but you know, just so long as I'm not doing this, like, too awfully, I'm actually quite happy. I really am, you know, with the skill that I'm actually able to pursue right here, so... And yeah, as you can see, the ground is pretty broken, you know, obviously, well, software mode doesn't really hide it, but, you know, because I'm using widescreen, so it's showing a lot more of the screen, so... Yeah, these broken visuals that you're not meant to actually see in the actual real PS2, so... And obviously the other versions as well, the game... I mean, the original Xbox version of this game didn't actually have widescreen support, unlike, you know, Twinsanity, Tag Team Racing, and... Let's say, what's the other ones? Spyro Heroes Tale? Which was like Xbox exclusive widescreen, because that console could actually do HD resolutions, unlike the PS2 and GameCube. You know, obviously the PS2 is the weakest visually, and the Xbox is strongest visually, but... One thing I will say is, the 6th generation consoles were amazing. The library of games for them is just incredible. I mean, you'll never have like a game library, you know, as good ever again than the 6th generation consoles. So, in my opinion, anyway. Same with consoles like the Game Boy as well, like the Game Boy Advance. So, does that explode them all? Yes, it does, but... Oh, why did I do that? That was... Now I'm back at this part of the level again. Oh, no. Why didn't they just put a bit of a wall there? That is so annoying. But you know what? We're just going to work at it. We're just going to play through it. We're not going to explore certain elements of the game. We're just going to get this done, because I want to get the hell out of this level, because, I mean, I've been in this level for, like, too long now. Yeah, so here we go, keep going. Oh, come on. I mean, the depth perception in this game is just so bad. You just don't know what you're going to hit. That's the really annoying thing about it, so... Let me get that. Yes, I've just had a thought actually. I could just use my my triple spin, and then I don't have to worry so much about timing. Why didn't I even think of that before? That was actually really bad. Like, what the hell was I even playing at then? But you know, I don't give a damn. We are getting this done. Yes. So okay. So right. You know what? Detonate the nitros, get that. I'm going to stand here and wait patiently. But wait, what's wrong? I detonated the nitros! What? I detonated the nitros! What the hell is this? How did that happen? I have absolutely no clue what happened there. I detonated those nitros. Well, you know what? we've seen this part of a level so many times now, you know what, I'm just going to make a quick cut to when I get back to there. But what even happened? Alright, so I see what I've done. I hit the nitro detonation box before these got the chance to light up, so that will explain it. Oh, here we go, we've done it. Nice one. So, yeah, there we go, both gems. So yes, finally I can get out of this glitchy Texas place. So yeah, here we go. So now time to leave. So there we go. I'm just going to open up my inventory just to prove that I now officially have all of the coloured gems. Finally, thank goodness. So here we go. So 30 gems in total and all the coloured gems. So here we go. So my throat's messing up pretty bad. My voice is horrible in this part. I'm so sorry, but you know.
Bring it. Bandicoot.
I don't know why the third levels you go into in these warp rooms have such a short cutscene. I mean, that's just an unnecessary waste to me, in my opinion anyway. So here we go with Medieval Madness, the last Atmosphere level. So this one, I've always found pretty fun. I really have. But one thing I will say is the Platinum Relic time in this, same with a lot of the other Atmosphere levels, can be quite a bitch to get. I mean, you've really got to, like, get, you know what I mean, sort of the accuracy down. On this one, and what happened to my controller there? My controller just sort of, like, gave up on me. It started, like, flashing red, you know, the DS4 Windows, so I have no idea what happened there. That was really weird. So, yeah, my controller glitched out. That was actually not a legit death, so I'm just going to say I'm not in the actual best of mindset today for recording these Let's Plays, but you know, I've got to get it done at some point, and I mean, this will be good to do like a platinum run after this as well. So, yep, careful through these nitros this time, because I mean, if I'm slow and my controller does glitch, I've got an opportunity. So, there's a lot of ambient background noise in these levels, which I mean, is really cool. I mean, it does definitely add to the atmosphere, but yeah, this is like a flooded medieval castle, so you know, they're very creative. Traveller's Tales have been very creative with level design in this game. So I will give the game credit for that. I mean, this game is very, you know, sort of like unnecessarily critiqued on, in my opinion. You know, I mean, I think the game's pretty good. You know, it really is. But, you know, obviously there's going to be a lot of people, you know, who'll think this is not like the original. But, you know, I don't think it's a good enough reason to shit on this game, because, I mean, it is actually really good. Well, okay, that was really, Okay, so that is very tricky section of the ball rolling there, so now this is the part that's sort of like I can never get down the accuracy on. It's sort of like you got to bounce to the other side here, and then you can sort of like take a shortcut, you know, when doing the relics, but I can very rarely, like maybe 1 in 20 times, pull it off. So yeah, and obviously just this way is just Wumper, so I don't really need to go that way for certain, but there we go. So but I am gonna go to the top. No, I hit the nitro, so I know next time I don't need to go that way, so I am going to go a bit in this way, because I'm sure there's... No, there isn't. So I'm not thinking straight today, guys. I really am not. Cool fireplace, by the way. I mean, this obviously does take a lot off, you know, just sort of like take a lot from, you know, let's say the previous, you know, medieval levels, like, you know, Lizards and Wizards and the Gauntlet, and another one we'll be seeing in a bit as well, you know, in the 6th Hub World. Yeah, so another thing I want to talk about this level too is it has its own unique soundtrack as well. So it's kind of nice to see this level like have its own unique soundtrack. But this soundtrack you're hearing now, you know, the unique soundtrack I'm talking about, which makes it unique, is it's only on the PS2 version. If you play this on the Xbox or the GameCube, you will hear the Gauntlet music. Oh, come on, I'm really doing bad at this game today, I really am. But just so long as I have another Let's Play part recorded, I'm just going to record this one part because I do have maybe a few other things I need to be doing today, so... But you know, just so I've got a part recorded that I can upload, that's all that really matters. So I'm going to try go round tiny that way. There we go. So that's how we do it. Nice one. Yeah, so instead of just the standard Gauntlet music which you hear in the later versions, despite them being newer versions of the game, on the GameCube and the Xbox, it has this soundtrack taken out of it. Now, I'm going to make a guess that it could be due to disk space, because there's no real reason why this soundtrack needed to be removed. You know, there actually isn't, because, I mean, this is quite a good sounding soundtrack, and I just don't think it's misfitting or anything like that. So, I mean, that is at least something. Now, I still, after all these years of playing this game, cannot remember which way to go here. Oh, here we go. So I managed to get the right way. Okay, so that's interesting. You see, every single time I play this, I guess, but I don't know if it's just my own sense of direction always taking me that way, but it just always feels like the right way to me. So anyway, here we go. So we'll get these last few crates, and here we go, we've got the gem. So, well, we haven't got the gem yet because you need to collect it, but yeah, these atmosphere levels are pretty fun, I'm not gonna lie. So here we go, nice one. I like the background sound you're hearing in this, you know, this sort of like loading screen. That's another thing that was taken out, because the GameCube just has a blank loading screen, like I talked about with Ninja on the last part. Whereas Xbox, you're falling through this like green hyperspace. So, yeah, very cool to see that each version's different, or has something different, so... Maybe I can't moan too much, so here we go with Crate Balls of Fire. Another chase level. Now, I did see a comment on one of these videos saying that basically this level does feature lots of vehicle levels. Now, I mean, I'm just going to say I'm not a fan of vehicle levels. I wasn't in Crash 3 because I didn't think they controlled the best. You know, let's say even compared to, say, Crash's controls. But one thing I will add, at least, is the vehicles in this game do at least control somewhat better than they did in Crash 3 Warped. So, yeah, bonus already at the start of the level. That's crazy. Yeah, so for some very interesting reason, the vehicles control better in this game than they did in Crash 3 Warped. So, yeah, excuse the dog. I might actually need to make a pause here. But anyway, continuing on from where I was last time, and why did I not use the, I thought I could have actually just triple spin that, but no, it looks like I needed to actually use the sneak shoes, so that was foolish of me. But, as I was saying, basically, I think the vehicles in this game do control somewhat better than they did in Crash 3. I really do. Thunder. I don't know if you just heard that on the commentary there, but yeah, that's the thing about having a sensitive mic. It does sort of like pick that stuff like that up, so... But I'd say vehicles do control somewhat better in this game than they did in Crash 3 Warped. Apart from 2, you know, I'm not too much of a fan of the Jeep's controls. As I mentioned in part, you know, let's say in the third part of the Let's Play. As you probably know, that level is hell. And this thing controls good, at least on the main base parts, but the firing and shooting mechanic, I am not too much of a fan of. I'm really not. Honestly, I'm not. I mean, I do think that could at least been something they could have at least improved on. Because obviously the aim is very temperamental for locking on and stuff like that, but you know, at least it does. You know, I mean, it is functional, but it's just not perfected. Because I mean, this game did have quite a bit of a rush development, but you know, to get the rest of the vehicles like the planes, the swimming, and the atmosphere, you know, a really cool vehicle, which also made it into Crash 2 entranced on the GBA. I mean, I think they're all pretty good, but... So here we go, that's the chase section, so... Yeah, it's nice to see a chase section, and oh, here we go again. So yeah, graphical glitches. Time to go into this 480i software mode. Because if I don't, okay, that was what happens if you rush it, but... I was screwed pretty much either way, because if I'd have not rushed that, I'd have been exploded. In fact, maybe I wouldn't have been if I actually stood forward, actually. Yeah, so my concentration's a little bit down in this part, you know, compared to, let's say, in other parts. So this is going to be quite a long part, because obviously I'm just not too with it today when it comes to recording Let's Plays. But, as I say, I really need to get it done. So here we go with the nice one. So here we go, that's the gem done on this one. So now we can go into the final level. In the main hub world area, the main 5 hub worlds, Cortex Vortex. So, yeah, I actually kind of like that name. So, yeah, I can switch it back into hardware mode now. So, and here we go, the final level. Now, this cool level does have a cool aesthetic to it.
Crash, you've been a naughty boy, but now that's going to end.
It's so rude, I'll just interrupt you for these quick cutscenes, but... There's only going to be one more after this, and then that's pretty much it, so... Because after that, we are going to be on to time trials, you know, relics, so... That is something really cool, you know, really, really cool, so... Yeah, time trial relics are quite a... It's not something I really should be doing today, because the time trials in Crash Wrath of Cortex do require fast times, and my throat is definitely not the best today. I must be developing a bit of a cold or something, because obviously that does really screw up with your voice, so... That's at least something you can give towards this game, so... You know, this Let's Play, so... This will definitely be ready to upload, because I think I've pretty much worked out an upload schedule for this game. To, like, upload on, let's say, a Monday and Friday. Because, I mean, that's a pretty much, like, good date structure to do it, so... And there's a lot of graphical glitches going off on the screen, and that is solely happening because, obviously, emulation glitches, because if I put it back into software mode, as you can see, it disappears, but, you know, there's that really weird, like, scanline CRT filter on it as well, which you saw in, like, the other levels, the underwater levels, so it's actually really funny that that's actually happening, so... Oh wow, what a waste of an Aku there. I could have actually saved that towards the end of the level where I actually need it, so... Oh, that's a major bummer. But, you know. But there's no bonus round in this level. This is ironically like the only platforming level in the game that does not have a bonus round, so... I don't know what made that decision. I'm going to put it down to the rushing a little bit, but, you know, obviously... You can't blame everything on that. It could be intentional this level never had a bonus round, but at least it does make this level a little quicker to make up some time, so right, come on, take you out, there you go. So now I just need to do a triple spin over here, and if it cool how they put like the Wumpers in the end, you know what I mean, letter, so for Neo Cortex, so here we go. So at least we got the Death Root gem, now we just need to go ahead and finish the level, so there was loads of room for me to get under there. Loads of room. I could have got a bus through there. Yeah, so that's really annoying. I will at least say that, so... Obviously I've run out of things to say because my commentary is not really a strong suit in this part, but you know, as long as you're still finding it somewhat entertaining, that's at least something you could at least consider about this Let's Play part. So here we go. So it gives you 3 stacked Akko Akkus, similar to what it does in the final level of Crash 3. So, you know, that's really an ironic flashback, it really is, but I just like to smash through all those nitros because it's fun. So here we go. And obviously they're from Crash 2, so it does recycle a lot of elements this game, I'm not gonna lie. But you know, still regardless, you know, it still works well. So here we go, we got the final gem, there we go. So that's pretty much near the 100% progress on the main areas, apart from some gems to backtrack with. But now I need to go back and get relics and remaining gems too, which obviously we'll do in a later part. So here we go, there we go, it's now time to face the final boss, so yeah, wish me luck on this one. Awesome!
Congratulations, Crash. You should be proud of yourself. Not only have you collected all the crystals in record time, but you also defeated the elementals. Let Crunch and me be the first ones to congratulate you.
By pummeling your sad Bandicoot frame into a pulp. Come and get it.
Yeah, so there we go with that, the final cutscene we've got to watch. So, apart from the ending cutscene at the end, but, you know, so here we go. The final boss. We have Crunch Bandicoot and Dr. Neo Cortex, so, yeah, this is the final showdown, so let's see how well this goes. Obviously, you get a different sort of sequence every time. You know, from the earth, you know, the fire, you know, sort of like the ice and, you know, electricity elements. So, obviously these just freeze you temporarily, like I'll demonstrate right here. But they don't cause a death, unless you get stuck like that. But I only did that to demonstrate, because obviously I've got to demonstrate what happens. So, obviously, the meteors do follow Crash wherever he goes. So, also we use a D-pad as well to sort of like position, you know, sort of the target, because it is sort of like inverted in this game, which does work well actually, you know, for actually for target shooting. So now one thing here, this is like the cheese trick in Crash Warped when you fight Tiny Tiger. If you stand at the front, you are not getting hit, so that's maybe something they could have improved on here, because obviously that's making it a little bit too easy, but you know, it does at least give you a bit of a strat. So what Crunch doesn't realise here is actually making it so Crash wins, and he's meant to be like the main antagonist, because he keeps like hitting Cortex into like the main arena, where it's pretty much inevitable that Crash is going to attack him. So it goes ice, and then it goes back to fire. Oh, there we go. So it gives you a bit of a warning, at least where the flames are going to go. So that's at least something. So there we go. Nice one. So Now this one is annoying, because you don't know where you're going to be able to stand. Because you don't get a lot of warning to where the electricity zaps are going to come from, so obviously you've just got to really keep an eye out on this one. Like, you haven't even got time to blink, I'm not even going to lie here, so long as you don't blink, you're good. So if you need to blink, do it before that sequence happens, because otherwise, you are going to wind up dead. Now, it's not super easy for me tonight, because I am a little bit tired, well today, but you know, as you can probably hear. So there we go, we've actually taken the final hit, so now it is time to take out Cortex. And there we go, nice one. So that is the final boss defeated, awesome. So yes, here we go. So speed shoes, same as Crash 3 then, so yeah, this is a repeat. So run faster, hold R2 while running. Yeah, so that's very easy to do, so yeah, that'll help us get the time trial times. So here we go. Final cutscene.
Can't you ever let me win? What do you want from me, you cretin?
Cortex! You realize that Crash may have collected all the crystals, but he doesn't have the gems. With the gems, we can resurrect the masks one last time and destroy that Bandicoot once and for all.
So that was a quick cutscene, but one thing I will at least give this is, at least, when we get to do the 100% ending, you'll be seeing a lot more. So yes, I think I'm going to wrap it up here for this part, and I'm going to show the credits at the end, because obviously when we do 100%, I'll show the credits then, because I'll probably make the final boss just a single part. So and obviously this part's been going on long enough, and I don't want the render times to be too long, because obviously you know, a really loud deafening fan for like a whole, you know, an hour or two while it renders a video is annoying. So anyway everyone, thank you so much for watching this part, and I will indeed see you all in the next part, because I now have speed shoes, where we will go back to Warp Room 1 and do some time trials. So of course everyone, thank you so much for watching, I hope you all enjoyed this, and I will indeed see you all in the next one. So have a good one all, I will catch you later, and I will see you in part 6, where we start over again and get the relics. So have fun everyone, I hope you all enjoyed this Let's Play so far, and I will see you all then. So take care, and goodbye for now. Later.